Hello. Most of what I'm going to showcase today is not new technology. I primarily want to make a video on a certain class of techniques since their discussion is generally buried deep within the general Ice Climbers discussion thread, and nobody truly wants to dig through all of that. However, there still will be some refinements and generalizations of these old ideas. I've yet to say anything about what I'm actually going to discuss, so let's get into that. The general idea is pretty simple. When Ice Climbers are hit with a move that terminates upon collision with a character, it is frequently the case that only one Ice Climber is hit by that move. There aren't that many types of move that have this property. Grabs and projectiles stand out, and I'm going to focus on the latter. If a projectile hits only one Ice Climber, the other is free to act. Generally speaking, this situation isn't too desirable, as Nana getting hit far away forces you to fight with Popo alone for a while, and Popo getting hit far away leaves Nana alone with the opponent. However, in the specific case of a very low knockback projectile, which leaves both Ice Climbers near each other, you can actually take advantage of this. There are many sorts of things you can do, but I'm going to focus on ways of closing space and reversing pressure with Nana's Blizzard, as I believe that is generally the most powerful application of this idea. I'll first illustrate a couple common examples on Mario's fireballs. So the first one I'll talk about is the running short hop blizzard. This is a very old one, and it's nice in that it closes a lot of space. The general idea is to run forward, do a short hop blizzard, and only Popo should get hit by the projectile so that Nana's blizzard continues. So it looks like that pretty much. And it tends to be pretty good for approaching. An old downside of it is that if you miss, you're stuck in a synced blizzard that the other character is quite likely to be able to punish, but a refinement of it is that you can generally do the blizzard on reaction. For example, in the specific case of a Falco laser, which is by far the most important example of such a projectile, you can do a running short hop but not commit to the blizzard until you hear the initial sound of a laser, and most other low knockback projectiles are even easier to react to. The next one I'll talk about is the running crouch blizzard. This one typically closes less space than the running short hop blizzard does, but it still has applications, primarily defensive ones. The idea is to input the blizzard while Popo is in hit lag or hit stun so that only Nana does the blizzard. It does have a significant downside in that Nana's blizzard comes out quite late since you need to wait until Popo actually gets hit to give Nana the command, so use it with caution. In practice, it should look like this. The next one I'll talk about is Squall Hammer out of shield to blizzard. The idea here is to do the Squall Hammer out of shield desync to propel Popo into a projectile while Nana does blizzard. It's nice in that it's a way of doing this out of shield in either direction. In practice, it should look something like this. The last one I'll discuss is synced blizzard on the ground. The concept behind this one is old, but it's rarely seen in practice, even though I suspect that it's one of the best forms of this technique. With this one, note how when Ice Climbers do synced blizzard on the ground, Nana initially sticks out a little bit in front of Popo, and Popo sticks out a little bit behind Nana. If Popo gets hit during this move, Nana's blizzard will continue on its own. Of course, we want Nana's blizzard to hit towards the opponent, but this ends up working out well because if Ice Climbers are facing backwards, Popo is initially jutting out towards the opponent, and Nana is somewhat safely behind him. And also, Nana's blizzard will be facing the opponent in this case. One of the nice things about this is that you can do it at any point when you're on the ground. In particular, you can do it after wave dashing towards the opponent. The constraint that you must be facing backwards typically isn't that much of a downside, since you can either turn around before the wave dash, or simply wave dash at the opponent facing forward, and then interrupt the turnaround animation with a synced blizzard. I think that this form of the technique is ultimately the best aggressive application of it due to the distance you can cover with a wave dash. In practice, it should look like this. And if I'm facing forward in advance, like that.